Hi, hello there. Welcome after the new year. I hope the beginning of the year is being amazing for you. Let me just connect very quickly to another social media. Let's see here. And let's keep talking today. Today I have a welcome. I'm so excited to be here in a new year. 2025 is right here, and I'm super excited to start today, actually, and for the next 5 weeks. I'm going to talk a little bit more about stress and anxiety, and especially how the childhood trauma, how stress and neglect that we possibly experienced when we were children, even if we are not realizing it, our bodies can sense that. And so, how this childhood trauma and shock and anything that actually was unfolding there has enormous impact on us in adulthood. And so we when we experience stress as children, we are developing coping mechanisms and we are developing ways of survival. And so today I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the survival styles as adults. And so give me a thumbs up when you're here. Say hi to me. If you have any questions, I am inviting you to take part of this conversation with me. Hi. So, survival styles. And so sometimes we are thinking that nothing really happened to us as children, and we don't understand why, as adults, we have certain behaviors. And so today I wanted to start unfolding it because I see a lot of my clients. I'm working with many clients with stress and anxiety, with the level of self-worth, with self-esteem, and confidence. And truthfully, we very often don't know the whole family dynamic if we don't connect and communicate with our parents. But today, let's talk about this, that as human, as children, and as newborns, as babies inside of mom's wombs, we have needs. And if those needs are not met fully, if those needs are met but partially or not at all, it's going to create lots of stress and anxiety for in our adult life. And so I wanted to talk to you about 5 different surviving styles and how they show up in our adult life. And so if a child didn't have a full need met of connection with mom, being seen, being adored, then their survival style will be connected to the connection, to not fully developed connection style. The attunement is number 2. Every week I'm going to speak about one of them. Then trust, autonomy, love, and sexuality. And so today I wanted to focus on the first one, which is the need of connection. And so a child that did not feel that the parent was connected could be so many different reasons why. For example, mom was sick and couldn't connect fully to a child. A child could be conceived, for example, by accident. And so maybe there was a thought of mom that she's not sure if she wants to have this baby or not. Maybe there were thoughts of abortion, so many different ways. Maybe mom was a young mom and didn't know how to connect with the child in a deeper level. So if this need was not met by a baby, by a child, what can happen now in adulthood? We develop the survival style that would show up in two ways. One of the ways is when a person becomes detached, because it's the detachment from the body, detachment, so not feeling fully embodied inside. And they will be two ways, either going into the shame or going into the pride. And so in adult life, when we never had a chance to connect with our parents, then in adult we can experience shame of existence, shame and feeling like I'm a burden to the world. We can experience feeling like I am not belonging here, I'm not connecting to anyone. So this is one way of finding a self. And then another way is through the pride. So like I feel so I feel so proud that I feel alone. I don't need others in my life. I don't need to ask anyone for help. I don't need anyone in order for survive, and I don't need to be emotional. So both of these, the shame and pride, are the ways we are trying to feel inside of us that we don't trust anyone, basically. Because if we trusted in our life, then I would not need to feel pride that I don't need to feel things, because feeling things is human like. If I could trust somebody else, I could ask for help. But because I have this fear of rejection, fear inside of me, then I would reject myself before somebody else would reject me. And so a person that has this problem with the connection, the need for connection was never established in a childhood, will have this enormous amount of wishing and like needing this connection with others on one side, even this inner connection, because they are very much disconnected from the body. But at the same time, there is this inner conflict that is existing, because the biggest fear of that person is the connection. So we have the need for connection and the biggest fear of connecting with others, that we are not going to be accepted, that we are not going to be loved, that we are going to be abandoned, that we are going to again be rejected, we are going to be unheard, our needs are not going to be heard. And so these two are coexisting inside of the person at the same time. And so how is this person adapting this survival style based on the need of connection? There are two types of people. And one of them is a person that is going to be very much a thinker. And so this person is going to be isolating self from others, and going behind the role that they play in life. Say hi to me if you hear me. We are talking about survival styles and coping mechanisms. Today we talk about actually the need for connection and what's going on if we never had the connection as children, and how we are behaving in adult life. And so the thinker would be the person that would be like, I like computer, I like to be on my own, I don't need anyone in my life, I don't want to connect with others, I don't want to have any discussions, I just want to do my work. Very often a person that is this type of type, the thinker type, would be a person that is extremely successful, because they can so much disconnect hi Kasha, they can so much disconnect from being with others, that they are fully connected to the role that they are playing. So even more so, when they become more successful because of that, uh, being a lab worker, being in front of the computer, doing this type of work that does not involve being with others, that the pride comes even more of, I'm not needing, hi, I'm not needing anyone. I don't need to be emotional. I have all that I need: my computer, my lab, my dedication. But this person inside is feeling empty. So it could be a very strong workaholic, because they can only find themselves through the role that they are playing in life. And so the isolation, so the identity is the role I'm playing. What is the other type of a person that is needing so much of this connection with others, but isolating out of the fear of being rejected? So very often we can see the spiritual types. And so like the spiritual people that more gravitate towards God, spirituality, animals, would be a people that are fearing another human, another connection, out of the fear of being rejected, hoping that because the world is such a hard place to be, because of the fact that the world is like so hard to survive, they will turn their internal selves into the higher power. And my baby is here. They will turn into the higher power, to trust that even if other people don't love me, they reject me, I have the connection to God, connection to the spiritual realm. And in that way, they feel that it's okay to be isolated from others. And so, again, it goes into, I'm feeling like a burden to the society. I have this shame, my puppy. I have a shame of this existence. So what I am doing instead, I'm connecting this channel to the spiritual realm to find an ease within myself. This acceptance that someone, God, spiritual guide, is accepting me the way I am. And so, um, very often, the spiritual subtype of the connection are people that are very sensitive people. They are sensitive to the magnetic field. They are sensitive to negative and positive. They very quickly feel rejected. So, like their self worth, their self esteem is so little that everything what is being said to them is being said and being taken very much, very personally. So they withdraw even more. So both, actually, the adaptation types, the thinker and hi Monica, hi guys, the both of the thinker and the spiritual person will be people that will very, very easily withdraw from anything, from life, because they don't want to be rejected. So the problem starts, they can face the problem, And so they withdraw and they become very passive. So what are other characteristics and behaviors of individuals that never had this need of connection met in a childhood? So very often that will be people that will not be affected emotionally on one hand, right? Because pride. If I don't feel emotionally connected, I feel above everyone else. On the other hand, it could be a person that is very sensitive, which is more connected to this shame and feeling like I don't belong here, I am a burden to the society, I am no one. So the low self-esteem is even getting lower. Okay, so then feeling shame about needing anyone in life, isolation, right? Um, withdrawal from any stressful situation, disconnection from the body. Like I am observing very much because I find myself in that connection, actually survival style. And even observing a person that is in that style, breathing pattern is very, very shallow, almost like the chest area, this whole area is almost like collapsed. And there is a hard times breathing through the diaphragm and breathing into the belly. So all this is really very shallow breathing, very fast and very shallow breathing. And so this is one another thing. Okay, so if stressful situation is happening, very often this type of people are feeling like a frightened children. And so the fear comes up, and there is this internal shaking, almost this anxiety and stress is so much at the surface. They don't know how to act, so they are hiding, but there's no place to hide, so they isolate, right? And so those people are scared of crowds and bigger groups of people because of this feeling like I don't belong. I don't feel that I am one of those people. And so they isolate. Okay, so then what else is here? People with the connection need and fear of connection will have a very hard time connecting intimately with other people. They will have hard times being touched. They will have hard times being seen. They will have hard time being recognized, taking a compliment, because of the lack of trust that they have for other people. And so We'll talk about how to resolve all of these, because I'm preparing a program that is going to start in February. But I want to prepare us every week and speak a little bit more about the survival styles and adaptation based on the neglect or based on the trauma that we experience as children. And so let's talk a little bit more about, like what I understand by childhood trauma, or what could be even considered to be neglect. Because when we talk about those things, we think about something huge, that something huge had to happen in order for a child to adapt to one of those survival styles. And that's really not the case. So, for example, for mom to think I'm just going to put a child, in a different bedroom when I am going to be sleeping in another bedroom, for us adults, something like this is not a big deal. But for a child that is needing this connection for a child that is needing touch, this feeling that is being heard. Every need of a child needs to be heard. For a child like this, is a huge trauma. It could be a huge trauma for that little baby. And so, what happens with children? A baby doesn't know how to find nervous system regulation. And so, like, the child is learning through the parent how to regulate. So, at the very beginning, the relaxation comes from mom or from dad or the person that cares for the baby to show the baby that the baby is safe. And so, look at, like, if we look at the situation, the baby is crying, the mom hears baby is crying, goes to the baby, smiles to the baby, which is like baby sees eyes, mouth, the baby sees energetically feels this connection. The baby feels mom's hands and mom's touch on a baby, and in that way feels cared for, feels regulated. So the mom is the model for the baby how to find this nervous system regulation. And so this what we might think like it was not a neglect. For a baby, it's a big thing because they missed opportunity to find that connection, to find that inner connection. And if, let's say, something like this happens once, it's not a big deal. But when the baby is not being heard and the needs are not being met over and over and over again, the baby first is crying, then the baby is starting to be quiet. The baby is feeling like no matter what I do that is in my power, I am not being heard about my needs. I'm not being cared for. So look like how we, in that moment, the baby, by this connection, is couldn't learn how to regulate, right? There was no co-regulation with the parent, and the baby learned that no matter if I speak about my needs or not, they are not met. Why would I lose energy to share with my parent or share with others about what I feel like it is not being heard anyway? Very powerful, very powerful. So when the baby is seeing abuse at home, parents screaming, parents not talking, for us adults, we might think that it's a very little thing, it's not significant enough. But for a baby, it's something different, because for a baby, for a child, every problem that occurred within the family system is taking on responsibility. If I was a better child, then maybe it didn't happen. If I was just a better, quieter, or more submissive child, maybe my parents would still be together, or they maybe loved me more, maybe they will hear me more. But because this didn't happen, the baby takes on responsibility. So just think what happens to a child, like that was unheard. That was the needs were unheard. There was no connection to the parents. This does not ever stay only in a childhood. We carry this in very, very deep unconscious ways into our adult life. And then we project it, we live through it in an unconscious way. And so it's so important for us to build awareness why things happen in my life the way they do. What does it say about possibility that happened in the past? And we don't need to unfold all of these things in the past, but we can start using tools to start shifting and connecting. So the first survival style that we are today talking about is the survival style based on unmet need of connection. Next Tuesday, I'm going to talk about the next survival style, but I wanted to ask you questions. Like, do you have any questions? Do you find yourself in that need? Maybe your need of connection was not met. Let me know. Let me know, because this is really important. Just think about the fact, what would happen with the on a mental level of a baby when the mom got pregnant and she's very, very young. She's not ready for being a mom, maybe, and inside of her there are lots of fear, a lot of thoughts, and circulating inner conflict. Should I keep the baby? Should I give the baby for adoption? Should I abort the baby? The baby's consciousness is there. The emotions of mom in that moment, from the moment of conception, is one with the baby. And so it's not like the baby is born and it's a new fetus and we are just entering the life. No, we are carrying already within our blueprint, energetic blueprint, some type of agenda. So if the baby was unwanted, how can we think that this baby, no matter if this is 1 year old, 5 year old, or 35-year-old adult, they'll still have this component hidden inside of the unconscious mind, deep, deep down, feeling I don't belong. No matter what I do, I feel unworthy of living. So what needs to happen? What needs to happen in order for us to start building that connection is to truly realize that we have a right, full right to be here. We have a right, the same as everyone else, to be feeling healthy, to be feeling successful, and giving ourselves permission to start embodying ourselves, because the connection style of the survival is a person that never embodied. It's almost like a person that lives inside of the shell, a shell of a person. Very often I see it, there's no grounding. So like a person would be constantly shooting up into this um, connection to, like, for example, spirituality, this connection, because when I feel connected I need to feel pain. When I feel connected I have to feel emotions. When I feel connected to myself I need to face my emotions, my needs. And very often this shell only of a human is working like, what type of vessel am I in? um, I can disconnect. So the survival style, the healing of the survival style will be working on finding inner connection, finding my own body, feeling my body, connecting with the movement of the body, connecting with sensing. If I feel stress, where in the body I feel it? If I feel fear, where do I feel it? What can I do with that? How can I release it? One of the things that I observe with my clients that are within that survival style, the connection, is that underneath a lot of those disconnections there is an anger. There is an anger and resentment for being treated the way we were treated, for being unwanted. Like there's anger component that is inside. So when you feel like this anger is coming up for you, the best is to work with somebody to help you, to guide you through the process. But the anger is a good sign. There is a anger that needs to be released instead of being used as a passive aggressiveness, as the disconnection, as like the self-control, as like other ways of hiding. That's what is inside of us. Being able to recognize, I am angry, I'm frustrated about what happened. Beautiful sign that is going to help us in finding healing. Okay, so I wanted to say thank you to you. We are getting ready for the 21 days of healing, actually finding ease and releasing stress and trauma from the body. The program is going to be ready in February, but I am every week now going to talk a little bit more and preparing us, speaking a little bit more about the coping mechanisms, how our childhood trauma impacts our adult life. And so if you have questions, please send me those questions, connect with me, because it's wonderful when we are building community. So I wanted to say thank you one more time for today. I'll see you next Tuesday, and we are going to talk about the next survival style, which is going to be connected to attunement. What does it mean to be attuned? And we'll just unfold it. I'm sending you hugs, and I wanted to say thank you very much for today. If you need to contact me, I'll write all the information in a post. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye.